It is time for all that came before to end. The Titan will fulfill his role and finish what I have started.
Hidden deep within the spire lie the sisters.
I have faced test after test in search of the sisters.
They control the threads of fate.
We'll never make it across.
Gain control of your thread, and you will be able to return to the moment when Zeus betrayed you.
The Titan Atlas has been freed from the pits of Tartarus and has taken my brother Helios from his rightful place in the sky.
What does Atlas want with the Sun God?
I released Atlas. I was betrayed by the very gods that once saw me as their own. With the power of the sun in his hands, it is only a matter of time before he destroys the pillar that holds the world.
Are you watching me now, sisters? Am I the great Perseus to kill this fallen god to receive an audience with you?
If not, at least I can bathe in the glory of being the one who brought down the mighty Kratos, the slayer of gods.
Once the pillar is destroyed, the world will revert into chaos. I will have my peace and be free from this miserable existence.
Do you not know who I am? Have you not heard of Icarus? It is my fate to make it across. The one destined to free us.
Perhaps you believe the Olympians will help you. The gods are petty and pathetic.
Will not let Ares' fate be my own.
I will reach the Sisters of Fate, and I will use your wings to do so.
Where are your gods now, Kratos? Athena refused to undo her mistake.
The sisters will not allow you, a fallen god, to bathe in their light!
I ask you, Spartan, what good is the promise of an Olympian?
The Sisters' Temple is far above, Kratos. You must get back to the surface.
Welcome back to more Let's Play God of War 2, the Glitchy Edition. That's right, this episode we are on our second detour, and we're going to be encountering some kind of weird glitches here and there in this episode. Yeah. God of War 2 is not immune to glitches, there's a few weird ones, and we're gonna see them here in this episode, thanks to Atlas, of all people, of all Titans, I should say. Atlas, of course, famously the Titan that holds up the very Earth itself. As we saw in Chains of Olympus, we are the reason that Atlas is chained up and cursed to hold up the Earth, forever. And now we get to see him again after so long. He has a very different voice actor this time as compared to Chains of Olympus. It's very, very noticeable with Atlas. Let's actually go ahead and take a look, because I forget the name of Atlas's voice actor. Because of course I did. Let's see. He is voiced by Fred Tatasciore in Chains of Olympus and Michael Clark Duncan here in God of War 2. So different voice actors, different performances, but the guy, the giant Titan that we saw in Chains of Olympus is in fact the same guy that we see here in God of War 2. They have different voices, but it is in fact the same Titan. Here is my first death. That was the camera was not cooperating with me and I just died. Oops. Don't deal with the harpies here. They're annoying as they've always been. This is one of the few times I would recommend not fighting enemies. Just get past them real quick and just fly in here as quick as you can. and enter our first real encounter, which is a God of War 2 satyr and a bunch of harpies. Hooray, so many harpies. Gotta love just how prevalent they are in God of War 2. You really, really gotta love it. Anyway, they're more annoying here in Atlas. These Atlas flame fire variants of the harpies are more annoying than your regular standard average harpies. Oh man, I am not a fan of harpies at all. At all. The worst encounters in this game usually have a common denominator. That common denominator is usually the harpies. That's not the case for every single bad encounter in this game, but usually the common denominator of a bad God of War 2 enemy encounter is there being lots and lots of unnecessary harpies that really just, God, look at how much damage that harpy did with just a few swipes. If I was a little bit unluckier, that would have been way worse, and I really wanted to keep my health up because I wanted to make sure that I could use this particular chest for magic. I actually always use that chest there for magic because the game doesn't tell you, but we're coming up to another chest that only has health. So that chest that contains health or magic, always get magic from that chest, because the next chest we're about to come up to only has health, and you want to open that chest too before moving on. Before all that, though, we have acquired our final Phoenix Feather, the 18th and final Phoenix Feather, which means we have our final magic upgrade, which means the only magic upgrade left is going to be the bonus one, the one that we normally would have gotten from a special room in Pandora's Temple, but in God of War 2, they are connected to Uber chests. There are 2 more Uber chests left. We got one after leaving the Temple of Euryale in a previous episode, but now there are only 2 left, and they're going to, instead of containing just a bunch of red orbs, they're going to contain an extra health upgrade and an extra magic upgrade. Before that, though, we have the Rock Minotaur. We also have the Icarus Wings, but I'll talk about the Icarus Wings a little bit more later. We have our 3rd and final Rock Minotaur. Thankfully, compared to the first 2 Rock Minotaurs, it is very easy. It's not as bad as the second Rock Minotaur. The second Rock Minotaur had the annoying gimmick of the unlimited harpies that came to back it up. This one has no such unlimited backup. It does have a gimmick, though, that we will see in just a little bit. I'm speeding up again because the basic fight, when there's no special backup for the Minotaur, is just get close, attack, roll away, get close, attack, roll away, get close, attack, roll away. Use magic to speed things up if you want. After you get to the halfway point of the Rock Minotaur's health, it will destroy this wall, and then it'll actually start moving around properly, which is kind of scary at first, but again, this is nowhere near as intimidating as the Rock Minotaur that had the unlimited harpies to back it up. It's going to throw a whole bunch of rocks at you. Just wait for the opportune moment to jump and dodge them. Even messing up, it's not that bad. It doesn't do, tremendous, crazy amounts of damage to you. It's annoying, but it's not the worst thing that could possibly happen to you in this encounter. I messed up a lot in this encounter too. I almost died, even though this Rock Minotaur is allegedly easier than the one with the infinite harpies backing it up, and I stand by that. It is easier. I just didn't play that well. But even if you don't play that well, it takes a lot for the Rock Minotaur to kill you. Once the lava recedes and you're able to jump back onto the platform to fight the Rock Minotaur normally again, it's exactly the same as Phase 1. This fight is divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 is just, roll towards it, attack, roll away. Second phase is dodging rocks. Third phase is just roll forward, attack, roll away. Very, very straightforward, very, very simple. Now that we have an opportunity while we're waiting around for this boss fight to end, this mini-boss fight to end, let's talk about the Icarus Wings. We got them from Icarus, and now Kratos has the ability to glide and do a few other things that aren't really going to be relevant in the main playthrough of God of War 2, but they will come in handy for the extras video of God of War 2 when we do Challenge of the Titans. For now, though, Icarus Wings is just a fun way to get around. It allows for more ambitious level design and more ambitious hidden spots for item chests. Not crazy like in God of War 1, but a nice escalation of crazy hiding places thanks to the ability to glide now. as I mentioned in an earlier video, I believe what's happening. I believe that there is a weird thing with the item chests in God of War 2, wherein after you collect all of the Gorgon's eyes and Phoenix feathers, and there are no more regular collectibles to collect. Most of the white item chests that exist in the remainder of the game, because there are still plenty of locations where white item chests could spawn, but they are now replaced with regular red orb chests. It's not a case where there's still, white item chests, but if you open them, they're just going to give you a lot of red orbs because you've already collected everything. The white item chests despawn and are replaced in the same locations now with red orb chests. It's what I believe is happening with the item chests. It's something I talked about earlier in an earlier video. I mentioned again because now you're gonna see I died stupidly there. Now you're gonna see a situation where from here on out, you're not really going to be seeing more item chests. Not really. It's all going to be just red orb chests. And it shouldn't be, because there are still plenty of locations where white item chests could spawn. But now that we have collected everything, those white item chest locations have been replaced with just more red orb chests. Which, again, is fine, but it makes it more difficult to do a collectibles guide. I still did a collectibles guide, but it's just a guide now for the quickest way that you can get all of the collectibles, instead of just all the possible locations where item chests could be. Now it's just a how to get the upgrades as soon as possible, which is a little disappointing because I like doing the guides where I show off where all the possible locations are in case you miss earlier ones, but that's just the nature of God of War 2. Thankfully, I think God of War 2 is the only game that does this, because God of War 3 certainly doesn't. The spin-offs don't do it. God of War 1 didn't do it, considering that there are over 90 item chests in that game. So thankfully, I think God of War 2 is the only game that does this whole replacing item chests with red orb chests once you've collected all the things. Allegedly. Moving forward, though, we have this simple but kind of annoying encounter with these bomb fireflies just destroying their nests. You can grab them. They're kind of annoying. Their attacks, when they do actually start attacking you, actually start like shooting fireballs at you, those are unblockable. You have to parry them or just dodge roll out of the way of them. Their attacks cannot, their globs of fire cannot be blocked, unfortunately. So that's the thing. But the encounter is over now, so we can move on towards more exploration, because Atlas, this second detour down in Atlas marks the end of what I would consider the easy part of the game. After this, we're going to get to the wallpaper palace of the Fates, that wallpaper-worthy environment, and that is when the game is going to ramp up in difficulty some more. So this is kind of the last respite, the last time to rest and take it somewhat easy before things ramp up in difficulty in the Palace of the Fates, which is going to be the next area we explore in the next video. But that won't be for a few minutes yet, so let's not worry about that ramp up in difficulty just yet, shall we? Let's go ahead and just enjoy this final dive into easier God of War 2. I think the design of Atlas is fantastic in this game. They really, really did a fantastic job of making a Titan a location that you can explore, as opposed to just a big enemy or a big background thing that's annoying you or talking to you the entire time. They really made a good job of making Atlas the environment in this part of the game. I really, really, really enjoy how they made Atlas just a place as opposed to just a person. This, by the way, is our final urn. Again, there are a total of 6 in the game. Only 4 can be collected in the main playthrough. That was the 4th and final urn for a New Game Plus goodie. The other 2 we're going to be getting through Challenge of the Titans in the extras video. So, yay! We're all done with basically the majority of the collectibles. The only collectibles that are truly left now is the last 2 Gifts of Gaia, with the extra health upgrade and the extra magic upgrade, which we will be getting way later, over the course of the next couple of videos. This in itself is going to be a pretty short video because this, compared to the Bog of the Forgotten detour that Ulrich forced us on, this Atlas detour that Icarus forced us on is much shorter. It's less than half an hour, and a big chunk of that is going to be cutscenes and lore stuff that's going to be talked about. So, yeah, a nice low-key video to end my my second recording session. Like I said before, my first session was episodes 1 through 4. This session is episodes 5 through 8. And the last session will be episodes 9 through 12 plus the extras video, which is kind of its own shorter thing anyway, so I'm not worried about tacking that on to the other stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Almost done with this Let's Play. And after this, we get to move on to God of War 3, which, again, my favorite gameplay-wise, and the last game that I'm going to cover in the Greek Saga. So I'm almost done with the YouTube project that is God of War. I'm very excited to be almost done with this, and then move on to different stuff. Not radically different. The next thing I'm planning on doing after this is Mega Man X. At least the first 5, but probably all 8 of the X games. But at the very least the first 5. But again, probably all 8 of them. Then after X, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. We'll see what I'm feeling with once I'm done with the X series. The X series, I don't want to put words in my mouth, but I don't think it's going to take nearly as long as the God of War games, because the X games are more comparable to the classic Mega Man games, which are very short, and there isn't that much fancy editing that I can do for them compared to say God of War. I'm very glad I did this challenge. I'm very glad I did this whole previously on thing for the God of War videos, though, because I really think it's helped improve my video editing skills a lot. That was a stupid death, but that did happen, unfortunately. That's not the stupidest one, though, because there's 2 more that's going to happen, and those 2 are both going to be tied to glitches. Hooray, glitches! That's a great thing to see in the game that is so phenomenal, but even this game is not immune to some silly glitches here and there, and we're going to encounter another one pretty soon. We're going to encounter one pretty soon, so that's nice. This brief wall climbing encounter, don't actually fight the enemies, just knock these outcroppings of stone down. That'll kill anything that's directly underneath, and that takes care of that. I'm also just speeding here real quick just to get back my health, since we're not coming back to this area. I wanted to make sure I was topped off. I'm also making sure I upgrade my Kronos Rage. Because now that we got our Blades of Athena to level 3, then we maxed out the Head of Euryale, then we got the Blades of Athena to level 4, then we went ahead and finally upgraded our Kronos Rage to level 2. Now we're going to focus on upgrading our Blades of Athena to level 5. And once that's done, we can focus on the other magic that will be very useful to us. But first, here is me not making a jump. I don't know why I didn't make that jump. That was a very silly thing that happened. Whoopsie daisies. But thankfully it only happened once. There's still one more death, and that death is going to be a very strange glitch that I don't understand how it happened, but it did happen, and I recorded it, so it exists as recorded evidence that this weird thing did happen, so I'm excited to share that with you. It's going to happen in a few minutes. It's going to happen in the last part of this whole climbing Atlas's hand sequence. Again, I really, really love what they did with the environment here in Atlas, on how they made Atlas itself the environment, instead of like a mountain nearby Atlas or something like that, similar to what they did with Typhon. I really like that they made Atlas, the Titan himself, the environment. It's really, really cool. It really, really brings to life the idea that these Titans are gigantic entities that serve as that can serve as both people and as locations, because they're just so ginormous. I don't think any other Titan, both in this game or God of War 3, really meet this level of enormity and scale and size. Even Gaia, when we eventually get to walking around on her, is not going to be nearly this level of enormous as compared to Atlas. So here we have our final wall climbing sequence here for the Atlas part of our adventure here. This is where the strange glitch is going to happen. Again, I don't know what caused it. I don't know why it happened. I just know that it did, and that I recorded it, and that you're going to see it in a few seconds. So here we go. Here's the weird glitch. Strange. Very, very strange. I don't know what caused it. I made sure not to be so close to the side this time, just in case it happened again. Don't know what brought it on. It just a weird thing that happened. Anyway. Climb. Keep alternating which wall you're on, so that way the rocks don't hit you. Eventually you will make it to the top, where we'll have a brief little visual cutscene. The same one we saw when I instant transmissioned and died, so I'm not going to, shut myself up again for this one. We're going to go ahead and break this chain, and we're going to get a very, very lengthy cutscene between Kratos and Atlas. So I will see you all when that is done.
Who breaks my chains of torment? Strong, but you are far too small, even for an Olympian, to be a god. Kratos. You dare show your face to me after what you have done? I will make you suffer, Kratos. Would I ever trust a servant of Zeus? Kratos, still the arrogant and foolish warrior. You have not changed. And how do you plan to defeat the king of the gods?
By taking the blade of Olympus back and driving it into Zeus's heart! It holds the power I once wielded as the god of war!
The blade of Olympus? I have not heard that name in many years. Since the end of the Great War. Bloodlust and power raged within Zeus. His desire to rule over mortals was intolerable to us. The war between the Titans and the Olympians forged the landscape of the mortal world. It was a war that we knew the Titans must win. If we lost, it would mean an golden age of the Titan rule. Peace and prosperity for mankind would be no more. The battle continued despite my capture. Then Zeus created a powerful weapon to end the Great War. A weapon forged from the heavens and the earth. The Blade of Olympus.
I banish you to the darkest pits of Tartarus!
I awoke in the torment of the underworld, banished to the darkest pits of Hades. I would have destroyed Zeus if you had not put me here, slave of the gods.
I no longer do the bidding of the gods, Atlas! I have stomached their betrayal for the last time! Show me the way to the sisters, and I will kill Zeus once and for all!
A lot of lore there. Excellent cutscene. I really like how that was done. I also like in the novelization that Kratos genuinely feels remorse for what he did to Atlas in Chains of Olympus. Again, God of War 2 novelization came out post God of War 3, so Chains of Olympus already also existed, and Kratos expresses genuine remorse that over what he did to over what he had to do with the whole Atlas situation. He didn't like that he had to enchain Atlas like this, and really interesting. Also, Atlas actually makes an appearance at the end of God of War 2, which he will not in the game, but he does in the novelization. We'll talk about that later as well. It's very interesting how Kratos and Atlas's relationship is explored. We got the Atlas Quake from him. Very useful, not necessarily in the main story, but in Challenge of the Titans, it's extremely useful magic. In the main story in Titan mode, I prefer to just use the Kronos Rage. But that is the end of the video. There's no more after this. This is a big cutscene, so I will see you all next time as we enter the end game. Bye-bye.
What Gaia says is true, Ghost of Sparta. You are a powerful warrior and a worthy ally of the Titan.
Then tell me how to find the Temple of the Sisters of Fate!
None, not even a Titan, know how to reach the Sisters' Temple. But it is said he who finds it will wield great power. I have given you the last of my magic, Spartan, and I will help you across the great chasm, but that is all I can offer. May fate grant you passage, Kratos, for many rely on your success.